This Korean Grandmaster is playing AP Pyke mid. Yes, Pyke, a champion with 0 AP scaling in his kit, buying and dealing AP damage in mid lane. This is STATIKK SHIV ZHONYAS Pyke, 2 items that he mainly uses for their magic damage. A build that completely fixes his wave clear issues, and allows him to roam more, dealing magic damage in fights, and even having ZHONYAS as a secret weapon for whenever he makes a mistake, becoming even more slippery than usual. But it doesn't stop there. Even after the nerf, this pick is still working, with him even playing COMET Pyke mid, sometimes taking Ignite for 1v1s, but weirdly often taking Exhaust or even Teleport, making his Pyke mid completely unique. He is playing against some of the best solo queue players in the world and farming them, ending most games with just 2 items. So let's take a look at how he does it. With the recent ranked reset and new mode, League really feels fresh again. There has never been a better time to go for a new peak rank, and to make it even easier, why not give Professor a try, the sponsor of this video? Professor is a completely free companion app that will help you win more games if you download it. All it takes is a couple of clicks and immediately your win rate will increase. How is this possible? Well, Professor has so many useful tools that instantly turn you into a better player, like jungle timers on your map, that even high elo players from my videos recommend. They make jungling so much less stressful. Or live stats analysis on screen so you can see which areas you need to improve, all the way to loads more stats after game, for you to review and spot what you need to improve to climb to that next rank. And my favourite, summoner spell timers on the UI. Simply click to start them and Professor automatically tracks the cooldown. This and so much more, Professor has it all, and best of all, it's completely free. Download it from the link in the description right now, super simple and fast, and immediately start winning more games, to hit that new rank that you've been dreaming of. Back to our player, his name is 당수당수, which actually is a reversed Korean word. That word, sudang, translates to the English word allowance, the money he's given. He reversed this to 당수 to show all of the money he generates for his teammates on Pyke, and then he doubled it to show the money being doubled by Pyke's passive. It's an amazing name for a Pyke one trick, and you have no idea how long that took for us to figure out in English. But why is he playing AP Pyke? We all know Korean solo queue is fast, and Pyke mid is a pick that thrives on early fights, as well as chaos and snowballing. It's a pick that can fight 1v1 in mid and get kills, but it's also a roaming pick that takes advantage of the W speed and invisibility to zoom around the map. AP Pyke started with the STATIKK SHIV introduction in patch 13.10. Like everyone else, he was so happy to see the item was back, but also like the rest of us, he had no idea the chaos it was about to cause. He began to test it on Pyke, realizing that the wave clear of the item was an ideal fix for Pyke's lack of wave clear. In the past, Riot removed the minion damage on Pyke's E specifically to try and get rid of Pyke mid. However, this item is a perfect replacement to make the pick work in mid and even top lane again. With just one auto attack, Pyke can now remove the majority of the wave, letting him fast push and roam whenever he wants to. Now this item was nerfed, so I wanted to hold off on this video to make sure it was still viable, and can confirm even on the new patch this pick is still playable even in Korean high elo. But this is only the first part of this AP based build. He's also going ZHONYAS, which I think is my favourite part, so let's get into game to see how this works. At level 1, our player is already using his ARCANE COMET. This has been picked up by a few different Pyke mid players, and the reason for it is to empower his laning phase. The reason it works so well is because Pyke's tap Q slows the enemy by 90%, so he can walk up at level 1, tap the enemy and guarantee the COMET is going to land during this 90% slow. This slow setup is very low risk poke, with Pyke walking away as the damage goes off, so it's really safe to go for. But he can also go for Hail of Blades Pyke against weaker early game champions. Here he wants to go for a full hook to pull them in and auto them 3 times for a big trade. He has Ignite, so enemies have to be scared of him, as he would win the all-in. They have to run away after this trade, giving Pyke a health advantage. From here, the wave is likely to push towards him, but he doesn't mind. Anytime the wave gets pushed to his tower, our player looks for this E forwards into Q hook, pulling the enemy into his tower. The enemy thinks they're safe inside their wave, but Pyke can jump past the minions and hook them into tower range, giving them aggro to ideally get a kill or at least a free summoner spell. He can chase them down for a first blood, or he can just accept the free minion advantage he gets. The enemy is forced to back off and he can thus get an XP lead. The best thing he can do early on as Pyke mid is to set up a gank, going for an E flash to instantly stun the enemy similar to support Pyke, but it's much more effective in mid lane, as enemies know you can't simply walk up and 1v1 them, so the E-flash is much less predictable, going for a hook immediately afterwards, setting up his teammate CC, and you don't really need much more damage, finishing the kill off with Ignite. One very weird thing this guy does is play with Exhaust in some matchups. The Ignite is great for kill pressure, but clearly Exhaust is for a whole other reason. He takes it against picks like Akali, Talon, even Renekton mid. All of them are mobile and have a lot of burst. So for laning, he can use it to save him a death, or even turn around an early fight. But also in later fights, Pyke can exhaust them and deny their ability to kill everyone, as well as slowing them to deny their mobility and make it much easier for him to land a hook. Similar to him buying ZHONYAS later on, the exhaust shows that this Pyke loves disrupting enemies from making plays they'd usually make. He isn't against playing with teleport either, another surprise tool that allows him to be more active in mid lane to get back to lane, as well as pick up extra kills around the map after it becomes unleashed. Another trick he has for mid lane is taking minion dematerializer. The reason for this is that Pyke cannot kill cannon minions, it takes him a really long time, so instead of sitting there autoing it to death, he quickly clears the rest of the wave and uses the dematerializer on the cannon, instantly pushing, making the enemy mid laner have to come catch it, and giving him a fast window for him to roam, a small but very effective strategy that other Pyke mids use as well. With this timing as well as getting level 6, Pyke can begin to roam, moving into Fog of War or pressing W to go invisible. With his XP advantage from mid lane, he wants to find a lower level champion and use their lower health pool to get an advantage, stalling with hook to buy time to guarantee it's going to land, and then he can dive bot lane as well. Pyke hook to take aggro, and then E out of tower range to make sure he can't be chased. It's a great kill setup combo for your teammates where they don't have to take aggro themselves. He's really controlling every play, slow, patient hooks, and measured risks. This is where his champion is power spiking in mid lane. With the XP lead and how much damage your ult does, the roams get ridiculous. If he gets a good fight, gets a first reset, he can chain that into a quadra kill. This is why Pyke mid is so good. Immediately he now goes towards STATIKK SHIV, buying Kerchi Shard first for the extra magic damage burst, and then into the full item. Here you can see his wave clear power becoming much harder to trap in mid lane. Even if the enemy champion has a lot of wave clear, you can now start to match it. The great thing about STATIKK on Pyke is that the item charges based on your movement, but it also works with your abilities. So when Pyke dashes with E, that's almost a full charge of STATIKK to use it again. Same for his W movement speed, reaching 100 stacks on the item much quicker, letting him ult, get a kill, auto with the lightning, and then ult again to follow up on his own damage, chaining them together. And this is where he finally gets Stopwatch to build into his ZHONYAS. The Stopwatch stasis alone is very good on Pyke as it really surprises enemies. We're no longer in a meta where this item is bought by every champion, or even taken in runes. You mostly don't get to see it until later teamfights, but this Pyke gets it just after 15 minutes, and uses it to bait extra kills in these all-important mid-game fights. It's really the main advantage of playing Pyke mid instead of support, these extra items. In support your only income is from these bot lane fights and the support item, but in mid you get loads more gold from waves and have the opportunity to roam more for even more kill and assist gold. The normal Pyke mid build mainly just buffs his ability damage a little more, ideally improving his ultimate execute threshold, hoping he can finish off more enemies. But with STATIKK and the extra AP damage he gains, as well as the spread damage between enemies and the attack speed so he can auto attack enemies more, it can be even easier to get your ultimate execute. This item fits him so well, even able to use it in side lane to manage the waves, letting his AD carry go to mid. He can look for 1v1s on the enemy mid laner, or just immediately push the wave with STATIKK and start taking towers with the attack speed, and worst case uses W to get to mid lane to collapse for a fight. He has so many options, making it hard for the enemy mid to follow him, now upgrading to a full ZHONYAS, and there are two reasons for this. First off, it does give him armor, which is good on Pyke as he can't buy health due to his passive converting it to AD. However, the armor still works for him. But the main purpose of ZHONYAS in this build is for when Pyke runs out of options. Ideally, he never has to overcommit into a fight, and he can always hit every single skill shot. But this isn't realistic, especially against some of the best players in the world. Sometimes you have to risk committing with your E to catch an enemy and win an important fight. ZHONYAS allows him to take this risk, and if it fails, it buys him time for his cooldowns to return, making him even harder to catch and shut down. So really, it increases his slipperiness even further, giving him more freedom against these better players. It definitely is better in high elo, as his teammates will capitalize on this ZHONYAS timing to kill confused enemies. And if he was doing this play in low elo, he might just get spam pinged by his teammates for buying it. After this core build is complete, I have to admit, this Pyke does stop buying AP items. Most of his games are over at this point thanks to this SHIV ZHONYAS combo. He definitely doesn't need any more AP, but he does need a mythic, so the best use of his gold is to buy Duskblade. But the main issue with Pyke mid is what happens next: team fights. You have a good amount of damage, and your ultimate is probably one of the biggest causes of pentakills in the whole of League. But starting that fight and getting enemies to the execute threshold is a huge challenge. The way that our Grandmaster player gets around this to carry fights is by playing slow and taking advantage of enemies that split up from their teammates. If he can land one good hook to pull an enemy really out of position, then his damage forces them into a bad spot, getting him his first reset. Pyke then slows the fight down again, not rushing in, waiting for another enemy to split up. He snipes the enemy jungler with his ult, repositioning out of danger at the same time. It's an incredible decision. Then again he slows it down, waiting for his moment to guarantee he'll get the kill when he dashes in, using his CC to shut down Zeri and finish off the fight. If he played it any faster, then Pyke would immediately have died. Any slower and the Zeri Yuumi would have taken over the fight. Timing is everything. He actually doesn't use ZHONYAS in every team fight. He isn't using it as a playmaking tool, it's more of a secret weapon that comes out to change bad situations into good ones. When an enemy makes a play that they know for sure is going to work, that's when he uses it, turning this definite good play into a bad one, stopping them from killing him, and trapping the enemies in a bad spot. The main reason Pyke mid is not super popular in mid lane is that you cannot afford to make mistakes. Sure, Pyke can be forgiving, able to dash out of situations and then go stealth, and believe me, our player definitely misses quite a few skill shots. But if you're not consistently stunning and hooking the priority targets to guarantee a shutdown, then you won't be effective enough to deserve the resources of this mid lane role. This Pyke is cool under pressure, landing his E stun into hook, using his ult dash into melee hook to guarantee he wins a fight. So even with these tiny mistakes, he has the mechanics perfected to win the fight. To rate this pick and this build, AP champions and AD champions both being able to buy STATIKK is not going anywhere according to Riot. The balanced team likes the options for AD carries to have great wave clear, and also for AP champions to have interesting interactions with it. If I'm honest, this pick was super OP when the item was released, and it's now just good, which is probably a good thing, as it means that Riot won't nerf Pyke and ruin the whole playstyle. Riot have been really careful to keep these off-meta roles in the game recently, which I think we all appreciate. So Pyke should get to keep his wave clear solution, and Pyke mid remains a strong, snowballing, and quite mechanical mid lane pick. The one thing you have to look out for is champions like LeBlanc, which he bans every game, a champion that can dodge his hooks and use static shiv even better than him. The easy matchups for Pyke mid are low mobility picks like Azir, Orianna, and Lissandra. In these he can hook them in at any time, get great trades, and outroam them easily. The hardest matchups are mobile mid laners, with good poke or hard to dodge CC. Stuff like Syndra, Irelia, or Annie. All of them require you to play back to avoid death, which takes away a lot of the power of Pyke mid. When this player goes full AD Pyke mid, here's his best build at the moment. You do trade most of your wave clear for higher early damage, but it's still good. And here is his full AP version, both starting Doran Shield as it helps you against early poke, cooldown reduction boots as they give you more slipperiness, as well as playmaking. You can go ZHONYAS for the AP and invulnerability tricks, or you can pivot into AD at this point, or sometimes he even goes more tanky, buying Frozen Heart for the armor and passive, into Guardian Angel to make him even harder to finally kill. Here's his COMET room page against the stronger early game mids. Trust me, you do not want to go to late game with this page, it's all about laning phase. Here's the Hail of Blade page against champions that he can bully, scaling into having better burst. And you can swap out any of these secondaries to add on minion Dematerializer as well as Cosmic Insight, so you can absorb those cannon minions for faster roams. Our player has nothing to promote other than Pyke. Whichever role you pick him in, he wishes you luck. And if you want more Pyke mid, I highly recommend Davemon, a challenger Pyke mid who puts on a show every time he picks it. Right now he's stomping enemies at 1000 LP challenger, and thanks again to Porofessor for sponsoring this video. If you want to win more games in the new ranked split, you'd be silly to play without it. Link in the description. Thanks so much for watching.